Sugar workers' protests continue. Burpee Psych Ward to be replaced, and Whiptail public consultations to begin soon. I am Noriko Bulford, and this is Uncut News. News, see what's happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Protests continued into another week, as over 20 sugar workers in Berbice were arrested this morning after they began blocking the East Kanji main access road. The workers are continuing their call for cash payout in lieu of severance, as Gau plans to send them back to the Rose Hall estate, which will be reopened this month. The 100-plus protesting workers believe they should receive a cash payout from the government like other sugar workers who are now being rehired. Their union deemed the matter closed 2 weeks ago, but the workers said that they will continue to picket until they get an audience with the president or the vice president. Despite the protest, Gaisuko reported this week that it was able to surpass its targets at all states for the week. This weekend, the new Eccles-Hags-Bosch roundabout was commissioned, and it is now the centerpiece of the second phase of an ongoing East Bank Highway project. The roundabout features a life-size figure of a jaguar, Ghana's national animal. I have to say, it's very beautiful. On a related note, the Ghana Police Force will be using security systems to monitor the new East Bank Demerara 4-lane road, detecting speeding and other traffic infractions with cameras that will electronically issue tickets and connect to the Ghana Revenue Authority for payment. The president also announced plans for mobile containerized police outposts at strategic points and junctions equipped with relevant transportation, with outposts already set up at the Eccles roundabout and Herstelling, and plans for additional outposts at Mandela and Ogle. Today, our president called for education and dialogue to counter Islamophobia and suggests a study on Islam and multiculturalism in the Caribbean. He made this suggestion during the International Symposium on the History and Legacy of Muslims in the Caribbean, which aims to cover culture, history, politics, sociology, religion, and tradition, and to explore the resilience and resistance of Muslims in the region. The symposium is significant as it provides a unique opportunity to delve into the rich and diverse history of Muslims in the region and bring greater awareness of Islam in the multi-ethnic Caribbean. The 154-year-old psychiatric hospital in Berbice will be closed, and patients will be accommodated at a New Amsterdam hospital that will be constructed, according to the health minister. The new hospital will include 120 beds for acutely ill psychiatric patients and a section for training facilities. The government also plans to build new hospitals in several regions to provide equitable healthcare nationwide. The newsroom reported that the overall cost for the new hospital is US $161 million. Now for crime news. 6 suspects have been arrested in connection with the murder of Daljan Denai, a security guard who was found dead whilst on duty at the Lusignan Golf Club on the East Coast. Denai was found with injuries to his head and his hands were bound with shoelaces. The suspects are Hirlal Ramdam, Trevor Harold, Ivor Hirlal, Anil Sugram, Avindra Kishore, and Devindra Sugram.
Attention truck owners. Between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 6970171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Ghana.
Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Ghana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today.
Businessman Vivendra Balgobin was charged with attempted murder for shooting Conroy Cox and Lavena Douglas at a nightclub in Baltica. Balgobin's licensed firearm was seized by the police, and the victims were taken to the hospital with injuries. Cox's condition is listed as critical, while Douglas is stable. The matter was adjourned until September the 6th. On Friday, Akeem Griffith was arrested. Griffith is the third suspect to be arrested in relation to a robbery in Lusignan. The other two, 29-year-old vendor Ryan Goodluck and 25-year-old mason Jamal Seymour, were arrested last Wednesday. The crime was committed by 4 persons who stormed the Hong Yuang supermarket on August the 29th and carted off with an undisclosed amount of cash and phone cards. 30-year-old businessman Steve Backus has been charged with conspiring to traffic over 11,000 grams of marijuana in Eccles on the East Bank. Backus pleaded not guilty and was remanded to prison until October the 13th. He was arrested on August the 31st in Albertown. 21-year-old Jarrell Barker was charged with fraud for allegedly obtaining $600,000 from Xiaim Bash for falsely promising to sell him a car. Barker was ordered by the court to repay Bash on September 8th, and the matter was adjourned to that date. Now for today's oil update. ExxonMobil Guyana Limited is holding a series of public meetings to discuss the Whiptail development project, which will exploit 3 fields in the Starboard Block. The project will cost nearly $13 billion and will involve drilling up to 72 wells and using a state-of-the-art floating production storage and offloading vessel. The meetings aim to engage local communities and gather feedback on the environmental impact assessment and statement, which have been submitted to the Environmental Protection Agency for review. Production activities are set to commence in late 2027 or 2028, lasting for a minimum of 2 years.
It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Field Poll Question of the Day. Every day we post a question on current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you fit this to us. Last episode I asked, what can the government do to improve the lives of the indigenous people living in the hinterlands?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Dimitri V says, well, it really comes down to what exactly they want in the hinterland, because people can live a sustainable and enjoyable life with minimal amenities. The things I agree that they should ask for: solar panels for the homeless, because the sun is the most abundant resource we have access to, better water, sanitation, and collection services, better medical support if they want to use that type of medicine, improvement on roadways for traveling, more cellular towers so it's easier to communicate long distance in case there's any issues that arise. I agree. Dopamine says, frankly speaking, this thing about Amerindians all living in squalor is just a freaking myth. Not saying we shouldn't respect them as the first people, but don't you think we're exaggerating a tad bit at times? Yes, obviously we shouldn't be encouraging certain infringements on their behalf, but come on, are the only people in need in this country are Afro and Indigenous Guyanese? Wow, thanks PPP/Jagdio. Your voting pawns and political punching bags have their work cut out for them. And finally, Dopamine also makes a troubling observation regarding the nature of government, military, and ethnic power politics in Ghana. Frankly, I believe a whole academic study could be created out of those observations, especially when it comes to the ethnic balance of the defense forces, the business community, many different elements to it. It's seriously far more fascinating than any of us give it credit for being. I mean, objectively. Now for tonight's question. I want to know, what's a national concern that you believe is not getting enough attention? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nico Pulford saying good night, folks.